format of tonight's meeting is to have a guest speaker share their experience, strength and hope on how Alcoholics Anonymous program and recovery is working in their lives for 15 to 20 minutes. Tonight we've asked Grant to share.
Hi guys, I'm Grant, I'm an alcoholic. Thanks to the group for asking me to share. It's always an honour to do something in Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm pretty nervous for this one. Most of them I'm a bit nervous beforehand, but I haven't spent a lot of time at this group, and it's something that's been on kind of the back burner for me, and something that has it's something that I'm trying to incorporate into my program to get more amongst guys in the program, because I'm finding that it's a necessary step to take. I guess I'll talk about my drinking a little bit. I grew up in the country, small town of about 2,000 people, and pretty much the vibe was to drink and play footy and fight girls, all that kind of stuff. So that's where I started my drinking. I was about 12 when I picked up my first drink and had my first drunk, and I loved it from the start. I was always an uncomfortable kid. I kind of fit in, but I didn't. I played a lot of sports, so that kind of helped me to fit in with most groups, but I still felt separate. Still felt like I didn't really belong. And when I took a drink, it took all that away, and that continued during pretty much my whole drinking. Though later on in my drinking, I had to pick up a lot of other things to kind of enhance the effect, and to also to manage and control the effect as well, because in the last 5 years of my drinking, every time I picked up a drink, it was always out of control, but the speed of it sped up. So I would start drinking and I'd just keep downing, and if I didn't use other drugs and things like that, then within a couple of hours I'd be on the floor, and that became my the way I structured every bender. Was I made sure that I had enough amphetamines and enough things to come down, and all this kind of control measures just so I could go and get it on the piss and apparently have a good time. It was always about the drinking. It was always about that next drink, and the book talks about it, the type of person that I am, as well as the type of alcoholic. I'm the nice guy. I'll be nice, and I'll get along, and I'll be try to be part of, if I'm going to get something out of it. And when I don't get something out of it, then I kind of try the manipulator, and I try to work things in my favour. And when that doesn't work, then I'm the aggressor. And that aggressor kept coming out more and more later on in my drinking. The more out of control it got, the less I gave a shit about anybody. Almost every time I picked up a drink, if I was out in public, I'd be in a fight, or I'd be causing some sort of fucking issue for everyone around me. And when I came to Alcoholics Anonymous, these are the reasons that I came here, because of the problems that alcohol was causing in my life. I had no fucking idea what you guys thought, what you guys kind of explained to me. You guys explained to me what an alcoholic was, and talked about the obsession and the allergy, and I didn't know any of that before I came in here. I came here because I had a fucking drinking problem and I didn't want to die. It was killing me, and to have that explained to me, that I have irresistible thoughts of drinking. All these situations will come up in my life, good or bad, and the solution to it will be have a drink. That's the thought that I have. It's have a drink. Today's fucked, have a drink. Today's good, have a drink. Fucking, and if nothing's going on or going wrong or going right, I can go back into the past and grab something. Fucking lost people or fucking whatever it is, I can grab hold of that and use it for a justification to pick up a drink. And for me, that's where I identify with that mental obsession. And the allergy was pretty obvious. The allergy, I already had a fair understanding of that one. That, as well as everyone around me, knew that as soon as I picked up a drink, there was no knowing what I was going to do. And it was funny. I was talking to someone about this the other day, and I didn't really care. Like, it got to the point where about 5 years ago that I didn't care, that when I picked up a drink I knew it was going to go out of control, and that was a risk I was willing to take. It was a risk I was willing to take for that drink, for that apparent good time. And when I came into Alcoholics Anonymous, my last drink was just like any other before it. I went into a mate's girlfriend's 30th birthday, and it was the first time I met her, and pretty much you know the rest of the story. And by 3 o'clock I was in psychosis and freaking out in some club in the city, and managed to get a taxi and get back to their place and pump myself full of the meds that I'd take with me every time, and I got myself home and spent 5 days locked in a room, thinking that my family was arranging to have me killed, and all that craziness that comes with fucking alcoholic and drug insanity. And during that time, it was what was different is everything was stripped away from me. There was no ego left. There was no hope for anything left. I didn't want another drink. All I wanted was to die. And what happened is I broke down, and Mum gave me a big book, and I locked myself back in the room and read a few pages, and as much as I could, and got through Bill's story in a couple of days, and had that first identification, and I was told to have a listen to some stuff online, and got identification there, and 2 days after my last drink, which was 2 beers, I went to a meeting, and I felt safe. Like, I felt safe for the first time in a fucking long time. I was scared shitless. I was hiding up the back of the room. I didn't know what was going on, but people gave me their number, said to call me, and a guy took me to meetings and dropped me off for the first few weeks because I could barely leave the house. And that got me through that first month. And then it was older sober members and people that I started to see doing shit in Alcoholics Anonymous started to say, do the steps, get a fucking home group, get a sponsor. And I walked into a group in Albert Park, about a month sober, and that group, I walked in there, and it's the first drink on a Monday night, and a guy came up to me and shook my hand. He had all the literature in his hand, and he was setting up for the meeting, and had a quick chat to him, and I was pretty sure he shared through that meeting, and had a chat to him after, and I wanted this guy's recovery. He seemed happy. He wasn't. There wasn't anything else I wanted from him. I wanted his recovery, and we sat down, and this guy took me through the steps, and he showed me how to take others through the steps. I came in here and had huge judgments on God, because I didn't have any belief or religious upbringing, but I knew that if there was a God, he took everything away from me. Like, if it was possible that there was a God running this shit, then he took everything that I cared about away from me. And that was a hard one. It was hard to really understand that, but in step 3 I was explaining that I need to put my judgments and my concepts and my beliefs that I come into Alcoholics Anonymous with, I need to put those aside, and I don't have to scrap them. I can just put them aside and go through the program and pick them up later. If I don't like the program, if it doesn't fucking work for me, then I can pick up all that bullshit that I put aside in step 3. And it's funny today, I don't want any of that stuff, any of the beliefs. There's not many of them that I've kind of, all that shit that I put aside and just have faith. That stuff kind of, it's not part of my life anymore. It doesn't have the power that it had when I came in here. Going through the steps, it not only relieved like Alcoholics Anonymous told me that and you guys told me that if I went through the steps and did it to the best of my ability and was fearless and thorough and willing to go to any length, I wouldn't need to drink anymore. And that's my experience. I don't know why. I don't know how. I can try to work it out and work out the psychology of it, but it doesn't fucking matter. I'm sure there's other ways to get sober, but for me there was no other. For me, I feel there was no other way. I tried a lot of things, and this one worked for me, and it works for everyone I see in this room and millions of other people, and it's effective. I think that's why I love the program. It gives me a place to go. It gives me a sense of home. I feel part of in Alcoholics Anonymous. It gives me a sense of purpose. I have a life as well outside of AA, but when life starts to fuck with me out there, I can always get centred here. I can always get balanced here. And I guess everything that some of my biggest character defects are running quite right at the moment, and I can see this stuff sneaking in, see the self-pity coming back in, see the justification and the selfishness and the self-centered thinking. This is the stuff that I learnt in 4 and 5. That these are my core character defects, and what the program does, it gives me, like, it's not a judgment on me. I'm not any different to any person out there because they all have this shit as well. It's just I pick up a drink over it. That's what makes me different from most people, is when I act selfishly or self-centeredly or aggressively, or when I cause harm to somebody else, I take it on and I pick up a drink. And to bring these things into consciousness, which is what happened for me with 4 and 5, I can see it coming now. I can see the shit coming. I can see it building up. So it gives me the ability to pause, to not just think and then act without any, like, it's just, that's what I did before. It wasn't clear thinking either. It was just a thought and then act straight away, or sometimes it was just action. There was no thought there. The program gives me the ability to kind of just take a breath when something's pissing me off, or something is really something is attacking me, or if I'm not happy about something. I can just kind of pause and I don't know, take a minute and take a minute, take a day, whatever's needed, and not make rash and stupid decisions. I can still make the decision later on. It can still be rash and fucking stupid a day later, but at least I've kind of thought it through. Really the core of it for me is pretty much how it's explained in the book, and that first page where I opened up with my sponsor and he drew me the circle. I drew the circle, circle with the triangle, and it talks about service, recovery, and unity. And my sponsor led by example. He does a lot of service in Alcoholics Anonymous, and I tried it. And having that person doing that and showing me the way, he taught me to, if I'm asked to do something in AA, that I'll always put my best foot forward, I guess, and members of AA taught me about unity and re-socialised me. So when I go out into public, I don't make a complete fucking fool of myself anymore, because you've taught me how to live again. I was fucking fried when I came in here. I could barely string a sentence together, and for the first 6 months I couldn't get through a share without fucking bawling my eyes out. And that's the pain I carried from all the shitty things that have happened and all the shitty things that I'd done. And I was smashed, and the fellowship, getting part of a home group and going out for coffee and getting close with members, and I have a core group of friends that I can call, and they're there no matter what. And they're not there because I've got the best drugs. They're not there because I'm a good guy when I fucking drink or I party hard. They're there because they love me and they care for me. And there's so much that fellowship that has taught me, and there's so much that service has taught me. It's taught me how to manage my money again. Being treasurer of a group and being treasurer of a committee, it's taught me how to accept other people's opinions for what it's their opinion. I don't have to fucking knock them down for what they believe or what they think. And recovery is obvious. Recovery is the steps, and it's fearless and thorough, and to the best of my ability, and that's how I try to practice it. It's not always fucking perfect. It's sometimes it's far from perfect, but coming to meetings and hearing other people share and their experience and things like that, and hear that they don't always do it to the best of their ability, and people are so freely giving of what they've learnt in here, and that's why I'm sober today, because I was given what was given to my sponsor, and I was given what was given to my friends and my home group members, and to every now and then I'll look back and I'll see where I was 18 months ago, and to understand how I got here is it's not of my doing, and I thank God on a daily basis for that, and God is there to give me strength. He's not a controller for me. He's not a puppet master. He's there, and when I ask for it, he gives me the strength to get through, or he gives me guidance or inspiration or intuitive thought. And I'd never 18 months ago there was no way I would ever think that I'd ever God in my life, and especially feel the way I do about it, because I'm a fucking alcoholic and a drug addict. That's what I was 18 months ago. Now I'm a member of a fellowship, and I don't have to drink and drug on a daily basis anymore. And I have opportunities that I can possibly live up to the potential that I have. And if I stay sober, I can do that. So if you're new around, take hold of what's here. Get involved. Home group, sponsor, and steps. And if you're struggling, fuck, we all struggle sometimes, but sometimes it's fucking awesome. So thanks for asking me to share.